You are with us in the storm, not waiting for it to pass, but present in the middle of it, standing with us through the waves and the wind and closer when chaos rages. This storm is real and the struggle is intense. The fear is valid, but so is your presence, unchanging even when everything around us is in turmoil. Teach us, O Lord, that your presence is in the storm when we need it the most. Not necessarily the calm that we're begging for, but that you with us in chaos is better than peace without you. Being with us in the storm means you're not distant, you're not watching from safety, but you're right here in this mess, experiencing it with us. Hold us through it. Help us to recognize your presence when we can't feel it, to trust you when we even know the storm is so loud that we can't hear your voice, so dark that we can't see you. Remind us that you were in the boat with the disciples during the storm and that your presence doesn't always mean instant calm, but always means ultimate safety. Give us the peace that comes from knowing that we are not alone, that whatever we're facing, you're facing it with us, and that your presence is our anchor when everything else is unstable. Let us rest today that the truth that God is with us in this storm and your presence is enough even when the storm hasn't stopped. Oh, dear Lord and Savior, please bless this town. Bless that family. Give them comfort and peace, and all those that are hurting, that have been just have tragedy in their life that's happened in a few recent weeks. We ask all this in your precious and most holy and mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I welcome all of you, but I'll have some special guests. I saw the county commissioners from Montgomery County. If you're here, please raise your hand. I saw you guys earlier. If they're still here.
Right. Justin.
It's Justin. Doug. Okay. Thank you. All right. Need a approval for the June 16, 2026 work session minutes.
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Need approval for the June 16, 2026 regular council meeting.
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
All right. Need a 15. Need a move for approval for the June 23rd, 2026 recess council meeting minutes.
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Mayor Reed.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to say to the President of the City Council, to the Pro Tem, and all the members of the City Council, thank you for your leadership, and thank you for what you've been doing, your service. To all those who are here with us in person from the community, thank you for coming out to witness local government in action. To all of those that are watching virtually, we're glad that you're participating as well. That being said, I want to start with something that Councilor Beard just brought up, and that was an unthinkable tragedy we had the other night when Kayla Taylor was killed while she slept in her home in her bedroom. As I said yesterday at our monthly press conference, that's something we should never get used to. That's something we should never tolerate and excuse. And we certainly extend our deepest condolences to her family, her friends, her classmates, and neighbors. With that said, I'm glad that those in the community have stepped up to provide tips and leads that led to the Montgomery Police Department making the arrest of a suspect within 24 hours of this heinous tragedy. As we support this family, we also want to make sure that we continue to expect more of our community and we continue to demand more of our community, and that is treating one another with dignity and respect, and understanding that you can settle differences without them being deadly. You can have conflict resolutions without anyone losing face, and you can settle disputes without them being violent And we have to make sure that that is continuously taught and emphasized throughout the community for people of all ages. But I want to thank the community for assisting the Montgomery Police Department in this arrest. And I want to thank everyone who works to make this a safer and stronger community each and every day. I'm going to bridge my comments because of the time that we're starting. And so some of this I'll carry over to the next meeting. But I do want to touch on a very important issue, and that's Jackson Hospital. An important development. We're grateful that Jackson Hospital and Blue Cross Blue Shield reached a new agreement that keeps the hospital fully in network and ensures Montgomery residents and those throughout central Alabama will maintain uninterrupted access to essential care. This agreement provides immediate stability for patients relying on services from emergency medicine to maternal care. It means families won't face added uncertainty in moments of medical crisis. But while this is a big step forward, it's not the end of the conversation. Montgomery, like much of Alabama, still needs long-term sustainable healthcare solutions. We have to think boldly and we have to think courageously about what that means, what we're willing to sacrifice, what politics we're willing to put aside, and what policies we're willing to implement to make sure that regardless of what zip code you're in, or regardless of what your ailment may be, that you have access to the type of healthcare that you need in our community. There's no project, there's no idea, there's nothing that we would discuss that is more important than an individual's health and the health of their loved ones. And healthcare is something that we have to view not as a wish, but as a need. And in order for us to do that, that means we have to invest. That means we have to think in ways that this city has not thought in the past, or that at least this city and this county and this state have not acted in the past. And so while we're deliberating short-term solutions, we're also thinking about long-term implementation. Because for us, it's not enough just for Jackson Healthcare, Jackson Hospital to have healthcare that is stable. We want to make sure that Jackson Hospital has healthcare services that is vital. And those are things that we know each and every individual will need at some point in either in their life or the life of someone close to them. And so as we continue to work through these solutions, we ask for your support in working with our county government, working with our state government, working with our Chamber of Commerce and our business leaders to really address this issue around healthcare in our community that not only impacts Jackson Hospital, but also impacts Baptist Healthcare and UAB system here as well. So we're gonna have to continue to think about this, and you'll hear more from the mayor's office, you'll hear more from your council members about what that looks like in the weeks and months ahead. Now I want to get to a very important topic that I think is very crucial to this city. And this is an important moment, one that's defined by growth, opportunity, and the need to invest wisely in the systems and spaces that serve residents each and every day. The 2026 bond program represents a comprehensive strategy that has been talked about for many years and certainly studied under this council and this mayor's office, certainly over the last year to 18 months, to strengthen city services, support neighborhood needs, and expand major assets that drive economic activity. This program is designed to enhance quality of life while positioning Montgomery to remain competitive with peer cities seeking jobs, talent, and tourism. The bond balances ambition with a commitment to responsible financial management, ensuring our investments generate long-term value. Today's presentation will outline how this program supports essential services, advances strategic development goals, and builds a foundation for continued economic strength. With that context, we'll begin by reviewing the core purpose behind this proposal. The 2026 bond program represents a unified effort to elevate Montgomery's competitiveness and viability. Its purpose is centered on strengthening services. Go back one slide for me. Its purpose is centered on strengthening services, modernizing infrastructure, and supporting community and economic growth. The program brings together several key initiatives designed to improve everyday experiences for residents while shaping a more vibrant, citywide future. To appreciate the significance of this proposed program, it's helpful to begin with why this moment matters for Montgomery. Montgomery is experiencing tremendous momentum and growth that require forward-looking investments. The proposed bond supports essential city services and targeted improvements across neighborhoods. It also plays a direct role in strengthening the city's economic position by supporting tourism, job creation, and private sector confidence. The bond aligns with long-term planning studies that highlight the importance of increasing human activity downtown and expanding retail capacity. Those are things that bring more tax dollars into our general fund, which we then put back into paving initiatives, community centers, and other infrastructure needs, as well as some other programs that many of you bring to our city councilmen and some directly to the mayor's office itself. These priorities underscore the need for strategic investments that support sustained growth. With those needs in mind, the next step is understanding how the bond is structured and how fiscal responsibility guides every element of it. The program includes authorization of up to $375 million, with approximately $350 million dedicated to direct project funding. About $25 million covers required issuance costs. The structure maintains the city's strong tradition of responsible financial management. The city stands in the best financial position it's been in well over 30 years, with our best credit rating that we've had in decades. That's a testament not only to the administration, but also the city council and those that make up our city employees and those that have driven this type of growth and stability in our finances. Each element of the bond is designed not only to address present needs, but also to generate revenue over time through tourism dollars, business activity, and strengthen neighborhoods. This ensures that the investment creates long-term value. With a financial framework in place, we can now turn to the major investments included in this program. The bond proposal includes 5 core investment categories: a major expansion of our convention center, which will generate an annual return on investment from $75 million to $100 million due to increased conventions and conferences and concerts and other events that we'll be able to hold and attract to our city through our airport, through our roadways, through our buses, and other means of transportation. But it also addresses longstanding needs like housing infrastructure improvements, things that we know matter: downtown, down payment assistance, downtown housing, and housing throughout the city to bring about new residents, both young professionals, military families, as well as seniors who want to age in place. But also a new sports complex to address the growing youth sports that we see throughout our state and throughout our country, and an amphitheater that fully fits the type of demands that we see across our city and across this state. But we also cannot neglect, nor will we, enhancements to city facilities, our city lot, service delivery, our city buildings, a lot of deferred maintenance, roofing, HVAC repairs, infrastructure, other needs that are in place, and even the potential to expand our public safety headquarters and support there. But it also includes neighborhood-specific projects across all districts. Several months ago, we asked our city council members for their wish lists and their needs, and they were significant. Those were needs that many of you have expressed to your city councilmen about what you want to see in your community, in your neighborhood. Many of them are in these neighborhood projects. Many of them will be funded by the revenue that will be generated from the largest number on here, and that being the convention center expansion. So you take those that are visiting, you take those that see Montgomery for the gem and jewel that it is, and you bring in those dollars, and those dollars through our general fund are allowed to be put back into our communities. In a city that does not have an occupational tax, in a city that does not have a cigarette tax that other cities have, in a city that does not have many other fees and other forms of revenue that we see across the state. These are things that we have to do in order to be the type of city we want to be, but more importantly, to be the type of region that we want Central Alabama to be. And so as we look at the opportunity to expand the convention center, look at it as a regional economic engine. This modernization and expansion is grounded in extensive market analysis and previous presentations shared with city leadership. The improvements are designed to draw more conferences, increase tourism, and support the hospitality sector. As I mentioned before, expected outcomes include an annual $75 to $100 million return on investment, job creation, stronger visitor spending to our small businesses, both downtown and throughout the city, as well as longer hotel stays, and the development of retail and restaurant clusters throughout the city. This is not only strengthening jobs, but it strengthens our attractiveness as a city for those who are considering living or moving here full-time. This work directly supports downtown vibrancy goals identified in earlier retail studies. Strengthening downtown ultimately strengthens the entire region. Investment in downtown creates ripple effects that extend into surrounding neighborhoods and commercial corridors. Improvements support retail recruitment, walkability, and increased public activity. All priorities highlighted in the 2021 Downtown Retail Report. These factors help Montgomery remain competitive with Huntsville, Birmingham, Mobile, who are all working to attract employers, talent, and tourists. Equally important are the improvements planned within individual districts and citywide services. The bond supports enhancements, as I mentioned, to public safety facilities, transportation corridors, infrastructure, parks, and other essential services. District-specific priorities reflect meaningful input from those council members to ensure community needs are addressed as you have addressed them with your council member. The investments also reinforce ongoing planning and redevelopment efforts noted in the city's real estate property inventory and retail market analysis, creating alignment across departments. The central message is clear. This program represents a long-term investment in our residents, in local and regional strength, and in the future growth of Montgomery, the River Region, and Central Alabama. I want to thank the council for their input. I want to thank the council for their deliberation, for submitting projects and submitting ideas over the last several months, working with our Department of Economic Development Director, Frank Robinson, as well as working with the Mayor's Office to express both praises and concerns as we look at this transformational investment in our city. At this time, Mr. President, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, or if you'd like to wait till we get to that item on the agenda, we can do that as well.
All right, any council member now or the agenda? All right, we'll go through the agenda.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for the mayor before you sit? All right. Ms. Riley?
Fire department. Well, good afternoon, everyone. What we're going to do today is we're going to recognize our comeback challenge team with our Montgomery Fire Rescue. They have won numerous awards, and it's the time that we need to acknowledge all that they do. And this is a great time for us to bring them up, for them to introduce themselves and tell about what they won and what they're going to present today to the city.
Thank you, Ms. Riley, council members, Mayor Reed, for this opportunity to recognize our team members of Montgomery Fire Rescue. Since entering the Firefighter Combat Challenge in 2010, our teams have consistently represented the department and the city of Montgomery with distinction, earning national recognition and establishing Montgomery as a force in competitive firefighter athletics. Over the years, Montgomery's blue team has built one of the most impressive records in the sport's history, with 6 world championship titles across multiple states, including victories in Phoenix, twice here in Montgomery, Louisville, Sacramento, and now Farmers Branch, Texas. They have also captured numerous regional wins and U.S. national championships. Most recently, the team won the 2025 World Championship with an impressive time of 1 minute and 9 seconds, competing against nearly 100 relay teams from around the world. Their achievements reflect the high standards, dedication, and physical readiness of the men and women of Montgomery Fire Rescue, and we are honored to recognize them here tonight. The team members are Josh Pyatt, DeMichael Seals, Christian Diablo, and Raymond Tompkins, and Jacob Julian couldn't be with us tonight. And tonight we're going to present them with their World Championship rings.
Also, we do have a proclamation for you all for the fire department. Ms. Blaylock has it, and I think you've covered everything that's pretty much in the proclamation. So, Mayor, the proclamation is with Ms. Blaylock, and congratulations, young men.
Thank you, Ms. Riley and Council, for that recognition of Montgomery Fire and Rescue Blue Comeback Challenge Team. All right. Any special committees report? You reporting the committee?
Well, yes, I need to inform you of one.
You got the mic.
Ms. Leanhead, I think we need to go back into our short-term rental committee. We need to bring that back up, correct?
We need one more standing committee meeting, and I think that after that, if we can do it soon enough before the next council meeting, we should have the ordinance ready to be passed on July the 21st.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. President,
What's that now?
she needs you to call for a short-term rental meeting, committee meeting.
Who's the chair?
You?
Can we get together afterwards when I've got the
Yes,
calendar
I
in
can
front
look
of
at the
me?
calendar. Yep, we'll do that.
That'd be great.
Thank you, Ms. Blaylock.
Yes, sir.
All right. Madam Clerk, item 1.
Mr. President.
Oh, I forgot. Mayor, you have a proclamation for the Clean City Commission?
Yes, sir.
They look so pretty and green.
They
I
do.
just
They're
wanted
all
to keep them
green
here
out
for a
there.
while.
Thank you. Yeah, you read.
Yes, go ahead.
Pieces.
From the City of Montgomery, Office of the Mayor, proclamation from the City Council as well as myself. Whereas the City of Montgomery is dedicated to preserving, protecting, and enhancing the environmental health and natural beauty of our community for all residents and visitors. And whereas the Montgomery Clean City Commission, in partnership with the City of Montgomery, Keep America Beautiful and Keep Alabama Beautiful, continues to lead vital efforts in litter prevention, beautification, and public education. And whereas the Greatest American Cleanup is a nationwide initiative that inspires citizens to strengthen community pride, practice environmental stewardship, and improve their neighborhoods through litter removal, restoration projects, and beautification activities. And whereas the City of Montgomery proudly joins this initiative to highlight our city's history, vibrant neighborhoods, and shared commitment to building a cleaner, healthier, and more beautiful future. And now, therefore, I, Stephen L. Reed, Mayor of the City of Montgomery, Alabama, do hereby proclaim the observance of Greatest American Cleanup in Montgomery and encourage all residents, businesses, schools, faith-based organizations, and community groups to participate in activities that beautify our city and honor our shared heritage as we celebrate 250 years of democracy. In witness whereof, I have hereunto signed my hand and caused the seal of the city of Montgomery to be affixed this 7th day of July 2026. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands on this 7th day of July 2026. Stephen L. Reed, Mayor; Ed Grimes, District 1; Julie T. Beard, District 2; Fernetta Riley, District 4; Cornelia C.C. Calhoun, District 5; Aronde K. Mitchell, District 6; Andrew Zamansky, District 7; Glenn O. Pruitt Jr., District 8; Charles W. Jenwright, District 9. So thank y'all so much, and let's please come on up so we can recognize you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Charlie got on a green jacket.
Jessica, glad you could make it back. Yeah, welcome back. Let's go. You're the worldwide traveler.
That's a check.
Good job. Thank you, ladies. Love you.
All right, thank you. Madam Clerk?
Mr. President, item 1 through 6 is the council's consent agenda with the contracts for your approval.
All right, need a motion?
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item 7, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning 5641 Norman Bridge Road from a B2Q district to an M1Q district.
Representative. All right, Ms. Riley.
I have a motion to adopt, Mr. President.
We've got to have a public hearing first.
All right, this is a public, you coming on item 7, sir? This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak in favor of this item, please come forward. Or any opposers? Your name for the record, sir.
My name is Paul McClendon with Larry Speaks and Associates, representing BEFG Bama LLC.
Okay, any questions? What's your name again, sir?
Paul McClendon.
Paul McClendon. Okay. Any questions, Mr. McClendon? Okay. I declare the public hearing has been held.
Did you ask for oppositions?
Yeah, I did. No, any opposition? Again? No one came.
Sorry,
All right.
didn't hear you.
All right. Declare the public hearing has been held. It's proper for the council. Ms. Riley?
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Item 8, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning 6900 Vaughn Road from an O1 district to a B2 district.
All right. On item 8 in the public communication, Stephen Bradley. It's that Aubriel Emery.
Mr. Mayor, distinguished members of the Montgomery City Council, my name is Stephen Bruce Bradley, and I have some cheerleaders in the back from my HOA and subdivision. We would like to voice our opposition to the rezoning of 6900 Vaughn Road, the old Regions Bank building, from office to commercial. First, if this happens, the future of Bell Road and Vaughn Road will be overwhelmed with added traffic congestion leading to more accidents, traffic jams, potential injuries, and to the citizens of this area. This area is already far too congested with traffic, and this area cannot manage any added issues of this nature. Second, safety will be additionally jeopardized as there are schools, school buses, churches, the Montgomery Fire Department substation located on Bell Road will be drastically impacted negatively as additional traffic could and will delay their ability to promptly respond to emergencies the citizens of this area so desperately depend on. Also, the Montgomery Police Department will be negatively affected as they will not be able to promptly respond to emergencies of all natures. The reasons for the MFD and MPD alone are enough to justify the Montgomery City Council to absolutely and totally object and vote no to the rezoning of 6900 Vaughn Road. Number 3, spot zoning is totally unacceptable. Commercial rezoning would be at odds with pre-existing properties and would be an unjustified exception. 4, again, multiple schools and churches are in this area. It will absolutely and totally lead to a dangerous situation for children and young people and all individuals of this area. If the City of Montgomery Council approves this rezoning, despite residents' concerns, it will be responsible for the negative consequences that may follow, including increased safety risk, traffic congestions, injuries, accidents, and hopefully not, but fatalities. I say this with my concerns to be totally understood. I do not want my concerns to be misunderstood. If 6900 Vaughn Road is rezoned from office to commercial, I believe the City Council will receive many more complaints and concerns from constituents in the future. Thank you for your time very much.
All right. Gabriel,
Bruce,
Imani,
Mr. Bradley, can you give Ms. Blaylock a copy of that letter, please? Thank you.
yes.
Good evening, City Council members. Sorry, I'm a little shorter.
Say your name for me. Did I pronounce it right?
Abrielle.
Okay.
Emery.
Okay. Yeah.
Good evening, City Council members, Mayor Reed, and others. My name is Abrielle, and I live in the Fairfield neighborhood on the Troy Highway side of Bell Road. I'm speaking tonight to oppose the request to rezone the vacant bank on 6900 Vaughn Road. Like many of my neighbors here tonight, I want to see this property revitalized after sitting empty for about 10 years. However, the priority for this property and this busy corner must shift away from auto-centric commercialism and toward neighborhood safety and connectivity. I did email you all Sunday night with some of my other thoughts, but I'm here tonight to reinforce them, especially as someone with a professional background in community planning and development. I previously served as a community planner with the Federal Highway Administration, Alabama Division Office. I've interned with the Michigan Department of Transportation on their planning team. I formerly worked with Mayor Gordon Stone as a community development specialist, and I currently serve as a planning and economic development specialist with the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs. First, this corridor is already oversaturated with automotive and convenience stores. Within the immediate stretch of Bell Road, we already have 5 gas stations, a locally owned auto shop, and a Walgreens. Allowing this property to be rezoned for commercial opens an opportunity for, to the property owner's benefit, a high-profiting, high-traffic business. Instead, I believe we should consider a conditional rezoning that explicitly prohibits a 24-hour operation facility or automotive-focused businesses. Second, and most importantly for me, the primary focus of Bell Road should not be worrying about other businesses, but rather opening an opportunity for pedestrian and bicycle facilities. This rezoning presents an opportunity for the city to prevent an open-ended commercial status without requiring serious infrastructure mitigation. And aligning with the City of Montgomery's comprehensive plan, working to increase pedestrian facilities is a key priority under the Flex Commercial initiative on page 65. Specifically, it states, Flex districts seek to limit access through consolidated intersections and improve pedestrian connectivity between and across parcels. For those in attendance tonight, did you know the word pedestrian is mentioned 97 times in your comprehensive plan? I believe it should be more of a priority to focus on our pedestrians. The amount of kids and adults that we see walking up and down Bell Road, and then to add another commercial business at the end, I believe it's unsafe. Additionally, the plan discusses on page 101 that the city will conduct a commercial property inventory, which does include potential property rezoning, while understanding that the rezoning is necessary to prevent further decline, which I do not disagree with. I'm tired of seeing the business just sitting there. To conclude, we do not need another driveway for cars in an already congested intersection. Let's not reclassify a vacant building today without considering the expense of our neighborhood safety tomorrow. I urge you all to consider a conditional rezoning option or to flat out oppose it, to prioritize pedestrian infrastructure, limit the auto-heavy businesses already existing on Bell Road, and keep the promises made in the city's comprehensive plan. Thank you for your time.
Ma'am,
Thank you.
ma'am, can you give a copy of that letter to Ms. Blaylock, please? Thank you.
Ms. Abrielle, I have one question for Mr. Pruitt to make his recommendation. And I heard you talk about redevelopment and things that you would like to see in that area, or what you wouldn't like to see. Could you tell me what you would like to see in that location?
I think the area is perfectly suited for a drive-through facility of some kind. If you're going to rezone it for commercial, maybe something small. There's not a lot of food on that side of town. We have the Asian and Korean market and things about to open there, but I think some kind of maybe food facility would be great since it's already built for kind of a drive-through. However, truly, it's not, if you're going to do something, just as long as it's not a 24-hour business that already duplicates but rather complements something in the area, I think would be very helpful.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, Mr. Pruitt.
Mr. Calhoun, before I make my motion, James Reed is here from Brubaker Estates. He is the on the planning commission as well. And when this topic, this proposal came to the planning commission for a vote, James was there, and speaking up for our district, District 8, he asked the gentleman to meet with the neighborhood. That's pretty much standard practice. We all meet with the neighborhoods to see what we can and cannot live without. And James was told that by the individual that bought the property at an auction, that he did not want to meet with the neighborhoods, wanted to leave it open for any type of commercial business, and would like for James and them to vote, correct? So, and then tonight, the gentleman did not come tonight that owns the piece of property, and we have residents that came down here to support voting on it and talked about carrying it over, but I don't want to carry it over. I want to vote it down, and I'd like to send it back to the planning commission if he wants to start over. And my recommendation to him would be to meet with the residents of those neighborhoods and don't ask just for open zoning. But I'm going to make a motion to deny this request, please.
You want to uphold it? You want to uphold the request because they already denied it.
So, say that again now?
You just upholding the planning commission.
That's correct, yes. The planning commission denied
And you
it
want to
unanimously, so we want to uphold the planning commission's decision.
And you sending it back to the planning commission for?
Yes, if he wants to start the process over, he needs to go back to the planning commission.
All right, you heard the motion. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is denied and referred back to planning
And Ms.
commission.
Blaylock, we would like those letters spread through the minutes,
Yes, sir.
just in case.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Item 9, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning 2090 McGowan Street from an R60D district to a B2 district.
All right, the representative for item 9. I didn't see you earlier. Hey, Representative Morris, welcome to Montgomery City Council meeting. Speaking to the mic. I need someone from land use, if you would come approach the mic, please.
Need her name for the record.
Your name for the record.
To Shayna Mars.
Okay. All right, Ms. Moore. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. You're representing the project, right?
Yes.
All right. All right, seeing none, probably for the, go ahead, Ms. Ms. Morris?
Well, the lot is on a vacant, on a dead-end street. There's no houses on the street that we actually have. It sits on the backside of a ditch and just asking for it to be rezoned.
Okay. Land use, you have any comments on this? This is my question I want to ask. What happened at the planning commission? I'm kind of getting to the point where when it's things that's kind of controversial, our planning commission kind of steps away. So tell me what happened at the planning commission, why this was not, no recommendation was given.
So although I can't speak for, good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
President, Mayor. I cannot speak for the decision of the chair or the commission. The staff provides recommendation. So although this is a unique parcel, I would say, property, in this situation, it is considered a spot zone just based off the area. It is R60D. And in the comprehensive plan, it's actually recommended that it's traditional neighborhood. So B2 would not suffice in terms of those parameters. So the recommendation was given that it does not align with the comprehensive plan and recommendation to not approve. In terms of the planning commission meeting, it was offered that there should be a recommendation. However, no one decided to make a motion.
Mr. President?
Mr. Mitchell?
I have a member of the Planning Commission, Mr. James Reed, if you can come up and speak if you don't mind, Mr. President.
He didn't sign up, but since you're a council member, you want him to come up and speak, that'll be fine.
Yeah, I didn't want them to speak for him if he's standing right there, Mr.
I think she said it was no recommendation given, so he can get a motion.
James ain't
Okay. Come on, Mr. James. Right here, that's fine. Right here.
My name is James Reed. I'm the vice chair on the planning commission. And the item was brought before us to rezone this particular area to a B2. The north, south, east, and west are residential. And the person that brought it to us wanted the venue to be, I think, a lounge or something like that. And we had some senior citizens that live on that street that came to the planning commission meeting, and they opposed it, thoroughly opposed it. And so at the very end, when it got to a motion, nobody made a motion to approve it or disapprove it. And without a motion and without approval or disapproval, then it becomes no action. And that's why I came to this body as no action.
All right, not a recommendation. Thank you.
I'm sorry?
Yep, thank you. I got you. You come back. Yes, Ms. Martin.
Okay, so the two young ladies who came and spoke at the hearing, they don't live on the street. No one lives on the street on Greyhound Street at the bottom. Those are two empty houses. They're vacant and they're falling apart. So I hear everyone saying that, it's classified for residential. However, the area has not had a house on that street or around inside that area that I am asking for at least 30 years. The street is vacated. The street lights that's on the street, we actually pay for that. The city does not pay for that. We pay for the street lights. So when you go down and the street that's next to it, it's barricaded off. You can't even get through the street. It got trees and everything running up. So I know we have a comprehensive plan, but the plan isn't working for certain areas. And I've been over there and I've been developing this area and cleaned it up for the last 10 years. If anybody wanted to do anything in that area with building it up, they would have. Now, I was asked, did I talk to any of the neighbors who actually live in the area, not somebody just own lots. So I did talk to some of the people out there, and I talked to the neighborhood president, and they actually came today.
Okay. So you have someone in support? All right, you ask them to stand? All right.
Good evening. My name is Tony Nickens. I'm here representing the West Side Organization, which falls under the venue that Ms. Tashina Morris is referring to. I haven't gone myself to her venues, but just the activities that she had, I've actually seen them online. nice family-oriented type of events down there. One, she has taken the time to clean the area up. Being a resident of the area over 40 years, she's taken time to clean it up and revitalize it as far as the greenery, places for you to sit, places for you to perform on stage. And she has also welcomed a new business to our area. If you're familiar with the West Side Day Street area, there's not a lot of new venues over there. There's not a lot of businesses over there. So I kind of wanted to welcome her to the area because I seen how nice the events were that she was having. Nothing lasted all night, nothing vulgar going on over there, and it's family friendly. You had elderly people, you have young kids can come, middle-aged people. It's somewhere for the family and friends to gather and have a good time. So I would just encourage other people to kind of take time to come and see what she's offering to the community. I think it's a great asset, and I'm welcoming her over there. I'm glad to see her trying to build up the West Side community.
All right, thank you, Miss. Anything you need to want to add? Anything else, Ms. Morris?
No, I brought pictures if you all wanted to see the area.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll share.
Thank you.
All right, we have heard from both the proposals and the planning commission. I declare the public hearing has been held and is proper before the council. Ms. Riley?
Can I ask just one question? Can you tell me, Ms. Morris, what the hours and the things that you will be looking to do in your area on this?
So right now, we just open on Sundays. So if anything take place, we're not there beyond 9. Well, we close like 8, so we got cleanup. But there's no music or anything going on outside at, after 8. And there's no one there to actually hear the music, so.
Have, one thing for the land use, did you all go over there and actually look at this? Because to look at these pictures, to see somebody cleaning up an area and then to see there's nobody in these houses around this area.
We didn't do a physical observation, but we did go through Google Earth with the applicant to see. The selection of the lot was actually recommendation by the planning department. She owns a few lots in that area, and just based off of what the zoning is and the comprehensive plan, that lot was recommended because it's the edge of that neighborhood and it is adjacent to M3.
Okay, is there any way we can queue it?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just want to queue it. I'll queue it. Do you have a problem with it just being queued for just what you wanted to be, Ms.?
Yes.
Can you put that in the records?
What you got to tell me what you're doing? What you queuing?
I'm going to queue just the, what Mrs. Morris just recommended, that she's going to only use it for that area.
You're going to have to be
I'm going to be specific on it.
Yeah.
Just for what she's saying, the hours of operation for the 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock cleanup and on Sundays.
But what's the use?
What you're using it just for the venue area?
It's just an outside
Outside
event
venue?
area. Mm-hmm.
Outside event area?
So I believe it's amusement and assembly is what our ordinance has.
I didn't hear you.
Amusement and assembly is what the ordinance has.
Okay, amusement and assembly.
Okay.
So will you be doing anything on Saturday or anything like that?
No Saturdays. I only Saturday.
All right.
Okay,
Tell me what we got.
you need to make a motion to adopt, then a motion to amend.
All right. Ms. Riley?
We're making a motion to adopt the,
Okay.
Now a motion to amend.
and a motion to amend.
All right, we have a motion to adopt and a motion to amend. Council, you heard the amendments that's been put into the record. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Of the amendment.
As amended.
Unanimous.
All right.
Now to adopt as
Motion to
amended.
adopt.
All right, have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
The ordinance is adopted as amended.
Good luck with your project.
Thank you.
Item 10, hearing on proposed ordinance rezoning property located on Casatada Ferry Road, 500 feet northwest of Red Wagon Road from R50 to an R99S district.
All right, Ms. Beard. We're on number 10.
Yes, sir, it's a public hearing.
Public hearing, okay.
I'm sorry.
I need a representative for item number 10. If you would, please come forward.
Cece. That's Casatada. That's not me.
Your name for the record.
Hi, my name is Fabiola Portales, and I'm going to be translating for him. His name is Jose Luis Celis Lara.
Okay. You get that, Ms. Blaylock? Jose
I
Reese.
certainly did.
Jose Luis Celis Lara.
Gotcha.
It's on the paperwork.
It's on the paper. Okay, gotcha. Okay. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, I declare the public hearing has been held as proper for the council. Need a motion? It's over here from Crucifix Road.
It's Casatada Ferry.
Like a motion to adopt.
I have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted.
Good luck with you. Been rezoned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 11, hearing on proposed ordinance amending subdivision regulations, Appendix B, Section 9, definitions E, lot.
I'd like to speak to us on the public communication, Chris Bostic.
Chris Bostic with Pilgrim and Bostic Engineering. I said a lot during the work session, so I'll try to keep it brief. This definition change is not just changing a small definition to lot in the ordinance. It is completely changing the intent of the ordinance for both lots and subdivisions, and will change and possibly kill development in Montgomery. It was not reviewed by the Planning Commission properly. It was not advertised. There was no public there to see it, and it should have never even made it to the City Council. I would like to see it totally killed, but if you have any questions, I'd be glad to explain further.
Thank you, Mr. Bostic. What we're gonna do with item 11, but we're here on 11 and 12. We're gonna send this back to Land Use and the Planning Commission to be, worked out. You got it? You wanna tell me something?
No, we'll publicize it to the liking of the citizen. It was heard before in terms of public hearing. There was a miscommunication in terms of the agenda, but it's been publicized for the City Council for public hearing for a while now.
Mr. President, we're sending this back to the,
Yes.
and do it over?
Yeah.
Pretty obvious to me, this is bad legislation.
Well,
I mean, what I'm seeing.
Well, I think-
You think they'll
well-
straighten it out?
well, I think they can straighten it out. You wanna explain why are you doing this?
Absolutely. So in terms of the subdivision regulations, obviously our ordinances haven't been changed drastically since 1985. And so when I came in March, there was clearly kind of just misinterpretation of different policies or procedures within the subdivision regulations. And so subdivision is clearly defined. We actually spoke with outside legal in terms of what the misinterpretation could be. And the conclusion was that it is how lot is defined. And so we have proposed to redefine lot. But in terms of the definition of subdivision, it is clear because it says the division, development, or redivision of a lot, tract, or parcel of land, regardless of how it is to be used into two or more lots. And so basically what the Planning Commission or what the Land Use Division has seen is applicants have come in with a whole parcel and decided to take a portion of that parcel and identify that as a plat versus identifying the whole entirety of the parcel as prescribed in the subdivision definition. And so to help clarify that, we were rewording how lot is defined.
I understand that part of it, but the point being is if I've got 50 acres of pasture land and I want to give my grandson a spot to put a mobile home, I'm going to end up paying taxes on the pasture land that I never ever expect to subdivide.
No,
but
sir.
But that's where this law is written, I believe.
No, sir. There are actually exceptions under what's a subdivision, and that you're describing falls under one of those exceptions. So there are 3 exceptions. Any subdivision of land for agricultural purposes, provided that no lot thereby produced has any area of less than 10 acres or an average width of 400. And then the second one is the sale or exchange of land between owners of adjoining properties, provided that additional lots are not thereby created. And the third is the division of sale of land by judicial decree. So there are exceptions to this. However, in terms of regular subdivision, that's just how it's outlined. But there are exceptions for extenuating circumstances such as you named.
Well, we got a lot of builders here, I think, that need to understand. Maybe we need to send it back and let the builders understand what's going on. Because if you've got exceptions, I don't understand exactly how that would work, but to me, it's real simple. If I'm going to give away a piece of property to one of my family members and I got a pasture, I don't want to pay high property taxes on retail location. I'll never be using retail or residential.
If I may make one more request.
Expensive grazing land.
Pardon?
It'd be expensive grazing land, I think.
If I can make one more request before it goes back to the Planning Commission, there's a lot of engineers, surveyors, and developers that would like to discuss the impact that this is going to have on the city. And I think that it would be nice if the Planning Department set up a meeting for them with the city attorney and perhaps flushed out what the unforeseen consequences are that they're not realizing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Send it back.
Thank you. I think what he's asking for is what Natasha's saying. We send it back so we can discuss what we're trying to do so everybody can be on the same page as we move forward. So
Yes, sir.
I think, Mr. Calhoun, he's asking for a meeting before we get into planning commission and talk about it and vote on it.
The public notice for this next meeting has already gone out, so it will have to be the following meeting. So there will be substantial time in between for a meeting to be held. And I'll get with our legal team to arrange that.
All right, thank you. Consensus of the council that we're sending this back to departments in our planning department.
So items 11 and 12, both
Yes.
being sent back?
Mm-hmm.
Will you hook up with them and let them know about the meeting and that sort of stuff?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Item 13 has been recalled by the Planning Commission.
I speak on item 13. It's Martin Bletton. That's your name?
Excuse me, I'm Thomas Tankersley. Martin's over here.
Okay, well, yeah.
He and I both have, represent the same folks in this, and I can speak to it. If you have any questions, he's going to answer those questions as well. The first thing that concerns me, I've never seen on a city council agenda where the planning commission has recalled an item, and I'm not aware of any vote by the planning commission to have done so on this item. This is a rezoning that was approved by the planning commission. They asked us to pay the fees and submit the plat. We did both of those, and we thought it was properly before the planning commission today. So we don't understand how it was recalled by the planning commission without a vote. And we're just interested in knowing that. But otherwise, we're here to have the zoning approved as was recommended.
All right, Mr. Tankersley. Now, what I'm saying before the council, it didn't come with a recommendation from the planning commission. So that's not before the council. It's just saying recall. I don't understand why it was recalled. It was put on the agenda, and I guess without being heard by the planning commission as well.
It was heard before the planning commission, so it was contingent on the receipt of a plat. So The applicant submitted a plat the day of the planning commission, so we weren't able to review beforehand, but the applicant was notified that what they're proposing does not suffice in terms of the requirement for a plat. And so I do have a PowerPoint that can attest to some of the things that have transpired since, and the direction of it being recalled was actually prescribed by our legal team. And so the applicant has been notified that obviously the rezoning is contingent on a plat, which any applicant knows, to submit a plat, and is prescribed in the zoning ordinance, excuse me, about a map amendment. And so when the applicant was advised to submit a plat, they submitted a survey boundary for just the parcel or just the portion of the part that they wanted to rezone, but that did not suffice the requirement of having the land platted.
Okay.
Are you describing just what we kicked back down to the planning commission?
That is describing what the revised text amendment, but not the map amendment. So map amendments are all rezonings. They're called map amendments.
Okay. So at this point, I mean, council, we discussed this in the work session. We were sending this back to the planning commission to go to the planning commission. So, I mean, 13 also. So we need to send it back, get the plat, what you guys are requesting.
We're requesting a plat, yes, sir.
And then we can move forward once it comes from the planning commission back to the council. With the recommendation or not recommendation.
Councilman, I would ask that you consider a second option. If you would table this, I'll be glad to meet with the city attorney in the next week, and so that the next council meeting we can bring it up without having to re-advertise.
Go ahead, Lynn.
I can't get you there, Mr. Tankersley. I'm sorry. I won't be able to get you to that point now that I have heard this. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think I can help you there. I mean, I'm happy to meet with you, but I don't think I can get you to where you're that objective that you just mentioned.
Okay, so that we're clear, this is the first of items 11 and 12 to come before the council. My client just happened to get hit at the time that the planning commission is attempting to amend its ordinance. We have complied with everything in the ordinance. We have submitted a plat as the ordinance requires. We paid a fee. The city cashed the check, and we are simply, we're due to have that handled. We just hate to have it re-advertised, but we just happen to be the first one to get caught up on items 11 and 12.
Let me ask the question, Mr. President. The question is, if 11 and 12 are overturned, this is a note, doesn't mean anything, 13 won't mean anything.
Then we've done everything we're supposed to do is due to be approved.
The only thing that this affects is that if 11 and 12 are upheld, it means the law changed, or the ordinance changed, and it would change.
Right, but
But you've already been through it, and now we're sitting there saying you gotta go back through it because the law changed in the meantime.
Right. So,
look, I'm looking at this right now. We're gonna move on past this. We already came up. We're gonna send this back. You guys can work that out with our planning and our land use division. I'm looking at this in District 5. I'm concerned about it, so I need you guys to go back before the planning commission and get a recommendation from the planning commission to give the community an opportunity to come out in a public hearing to speak for or against this item. So we're gonna move this. We're done with that. We're moving it back to the thing. You guys can meet and make a recommendation.
I will say that if we show the PowerPoint, you can see that in terms of what you're mentioning about the amendment to the text, it doesn't apply to this. The map amendment.
How long is the PowerPoint? We got to move. How long is it?
No, it's just a couple of slides.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So there was a similar instance where an application came through showing that it was a portion of a plat or a portion of a parcel and not the entirety of that parcel, and that was May the 5th. And on May 21st, after the applicant, which just happens to be Pilgrim and Bostix as well, talked to our legal department, then they submitted the change. If you can go to the next slide. And that's just the definition of subdivision, the next slide. And so this was the plat that was submitted. You can see the background where they say lot 1, and that was the initial lot. And as you can see in the forefront, lot 1 and lot 2. So I thought that we had come to a conclusion based off of what the ordinance currently reads, based on what a subdivision is. If you can go to the next slide. And this is the case in question now. So the application was received or sent to technical review on 5/14, and then the plat was received 5/28, and as you see, that is the same day as the Planning Commission. And we don't have to go through that video, but if you can go to the next slide, and that is where you see a map amendments and how it's defined that says, with all map amendments, a plat shall be submitted with that application or request. And if you can go to the next slide, that outlines what the zoning designation they are requiring or requesting. The next slide, please. And that is the entirety of the parcel. And then on the right is the portion that they have submitted as a plat. So that is why.
Thank you. It's been sent back, so you guys work it out. Thank you.
Item 14, 45-day review of Perfection Bar and Lounge, 5046 Bond Road.
Representative from Perfection Bar and Lounge.
Appreciate you coming. Y'all been doing great. Thank you very much. You want to open up for brunch on Sundays? You want to open up for brunch on Sundays? Yes. You good to go. Thank you.
Good luck. Keep doing what you do, man.
Is he
Thank you, sir.
maintaining the 8 p.m.
Hey,
to 1 a.m.?
Let me get your name for the record. I'm sorry.
Jimmy Stovall.
Jimmy Stovall.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Stovall.
Yes, ma'am. Everything's the same. But
Still remaining
he's
the
opening
same.
up for brunch. Yes, ma'am.
Same hours of
Yes, ma'am.
operation, but can open for brunch on
Yes, ma'am.
Sunday. Okay. Item 15, review of Michael Wright. We have 2952, but he has informed us it's 2956 Halifax Lane, operating business in residential area.
All right. You need to represent Mr. Michael Wright.
Hello, my name is Michael Wright at property 2956 Halifax Lane, Montgomery, Alabama 36116.
Mr. President?
Mr. Mitchell?
Mr. Wright, can you tell me at your residence, what are you guys doing?
My residence is a family household where me and my kids stay. And some family members from time to time, they go to Alabama State and ASU, be like, hey, cuz, can I throw a party? And I say, okay.
And so how big is your backyard? And when you have these parties, do y'all charge to get in? Do you have security? Tell me, make me visualize what you got going on Halifax.
I'm not a host of the party. I just say, okay, I don't mind if y'all have a party as long as you do provide security. I don't know nothing about them charging anybody or anything to get in. I just make sure that, hey, the neighborhood is secure, that no guns, no weapons or anything. That's my main recommendation to my families that have the parties. I just make sure that they have security so that nobody gets any type of injury or anything.
Okay, I have a video I would like you to see, and you tell me if this the party that you're talking about that just your family come to. Can you put that video on? I'm in that car. Let's be driving. It's on Wallace Drive before you can get to the place that you were at. People that stay on Halifax couldn't leave out, couldn't go in, and we've been doing this for like last year. You did the same thing last year. I got those same complaints. I had a lady that called me screaming and hollering that she couldn't get home. She was stuck in the gas station. They were shooting. So just tell me why, because how big is your backyard? How big is your pool? Because the average pool, you only can get about 10 people to 20 people inside the average pool at a residential area. And so I have seen on social media that the guy said that they are charging $20 to get in. And I don't mind you having parties for your family members, but when we put things on social media, that's what we end up with, Mr. Wright.
Okay.
And so I just want to make sure that we are doing everything, and that's why we did an ordinance, because stuff like that, it interrupted everybody's day because I was somewhere else and I had to stop what I was doing to come over there and help that young lady get home. So, Mr. Wright, you know, we shouldn't, first of all, you can't be in a residential area doing commercial things. You're giving up your house. I know your insurance company is not agreeing with you having lifeguards at this party.
Yes, sir.
And I know your insurance company not allowing you to have a public private party. And when you start to charge, you can't control who shows up. Because I had a lady on Wallace Drive said that they were shooting on her street. And guess what that party produced? So when the police, it was about 7 police officers, and make it so bad, it got so bad that somebody called the Alabama State police officer to be on the Montgomery City streets. If I would have called President Ross, he would have probably got fired immediately. He's out of his car trying to help patrol traffic on city streets. And guess what they did? The state troopers had to come. 6 or 7 police officers had to come. They broke up that party. Guess what they started doing? They took over the service road, the gas station, Honey Baked Ham, Chuck E. Cheese. And when they ran them away from there, guess where they went next? Roses. When they ran them away from Roses, guess where they ended up? At the gas station. And guess what happened at the gas station? And know how I know that was the same kids? Because all those little girls had on swimsuits with no towels. If you watch any video from that gas station, most of those girls, most of those individuals was coming from Halifax. And Mr. Wright, we cannot condone stuff like that you cannot control. And Mr. Wright, just be mindful of your neighbors, sir. That's all I ask. So if you're gonna have a party, have it, like you said, for your family members. Don't turn it over to anybody that you don't know, because that's what you'll end up with, Mr. Wright. So please be mindful of your neighbors. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mitchell, I have a question before Mr. Wright leaves. And I know it's a review of Halifax Lane operating a business, but you can't operate a business of this nature within a residential area. So I know we passed something a couple weeks ago that say unauthorized parties. So based on what you just said to this council that you was having an unauthorized party without a permit, and it just happened. You're not there, so evidently you subleasing it to someone else.
So, Mr. President, I think Mr. Head, Ms. Attorney Head want to just mention we had a amendment that we need to do. It was some fees that were.
There's a fee in it. I think there was $100 fee in it, and there has to be a permit for anything over 50 people or over at any gathering or event in the city limits.
I mean,
so there has to be a permit.
I think we're running into some issues with that, even if we permit it.
Oh no, I'm just saying that was just a violation of that permit requirement.
Right.
But yeah.
So either we want to stop unauthorized parties, or we want to give them a loophole to get through it.
We need to
so
stop
that's my question.
We need to stop them.
So, I mean, this is not nothing about your license. So my thing is, you're operating a business. Do you have a license to do parties? Are you promoting these parties? Are you promoting?
Negative. I do not promote none of that. It's just my family member asked me, can they have a pool party? And I say yes.
So you're, Mr. President.
Mr. Chairman.
I believe, if I hear correctly, this is where all this started. It ended up at racetrack. And how many people died? 3? Plus one other? 2. So how much liability, if it isn't liquor served at your party, you probably got some liability on those people that got shot. Better think about that.
But Mr. Jim, I don't want to put that on you. Because we don't know where those people came from that ended up there.
We don't know where they came from either, but I'm hearing the party was where it all started.
that's Mr. Mitchell made his point. I was just trying to make sure that you understood these type of things. We got to be aware of neighbors that live in this neighborhood, live in the community that you're doing. You might have started something innocently that turned out real broke, because that was all over the streets of Montgomery, you know, all over that. And so he's talking about it, but you know, it's nothing that we're acting on right here. I guess he just wanted to talk with you about.
And Mr. President, can I have those individuals that stay in that area that's here just to stand up that had some concern about it? And I hate to call out, but Ms. T is one of the people that called me upset, crying that she was stuck in the gas station because she heard shots. A young man had to tell her mama, come on, run in the gas station. And so, Mr. Wright, those are the type of people that you affect when we do things like this. So, Mr. Wright, just be mindful, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Item 16, approval of East Fairview Avenue Streetscape Master Plan.
This item be carried over.
You wish.
The last one. You ain't saying nothing all day. I want to get something out of you.
You're very funny.
This is the last one.
Hi, I'm Lois Cortello with the Department of Economic Development. I'm here to request your approval of the City of Montgomery's East Fairview Master Plan. We've been working on this for more than 2 years, so we're very happy to bring something positive, and you've just heard about the comprehensive plan, and it's 97 references, I think, to pedestrian environment. And so we're trying to take this and implement it. We did extensive outreach, and we heard about the need for traffic calming on Fairview, improved environment for pedestrians, bicycles, and a strengthened business and college area streetscape. Planning Commission unanimously approved this. I'll go through very quickly because I know it's been a long meeting, but there was a lot of extensive meeting with neighborhood associations on a small basis and a big basis. We did a large public hearing. This is just some examples where we got physical with explaining things, and we had our consultant with detail and post-it notes. And then we did a large, actually here's the post-it note. It's a very hands-on method, but sometimes old school planning and input and community engagement is really important. And if you zoom in, they'd say yes, yes, yes on all of those post-its at the proposed roundabout. We also did an extensive public comment period, and we let people who may not want to come to meetings or citizens just send in written comments. So every single one of those were documented, and we heard clearly about the need for traffic calming and pedestrian safety. This is the major, I have Zachary Robinson here with me from the Engineering Design Technology Senior Engineer of Record. We're going to go through this very quickly.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. So the thought went into this after the public involvement. There was a lot of great input at those community involvement meetings. The roundabout got overwhelmingly a lot of support. It was a lot of yeses, like Lois said. Some of the other components of this is a bioswale to help with the storm drainage. We have narrowed the lanes to help traffic calming. We've had added some spots for pedestrians to cross safely, and some landing areas for the pedestrians to stack during vehicle traffic. We've added bike lanes separated with a divider. And we have the entrance to the college, which the four-way stop, we added the four-way stop, and this is the entrance to the college, and we terminated it with bike lanes, and we have another intersection with stops, and then we had the renderings that kind of gave the public a more visual of the parking, how the bike lanes are going to work with the traffic, how the crossings are with the intersections, and just gave an overview of what this streetscape will look like for the landscaping, the lighting, and the bioswales. And then we have the entrance to
So I know you have a long meeting, that you have the plan in detail. At this particular moment, I want to invite President Anthony Lee of Huntington College just to make a quick statement about the support and partnership that we have had with the college.
Thank you, Lois. Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. Huntington College is exceedingly excited about this. We are a front door for the city of Montgomery, and each year we attract thousands of visitors to Montgomery, and when they come here, they're trying to discern two things. One, is Huntington a great fit for me to achieve my hopes and dreams for my educational experience? And two, is Montgomery where I want to live for the next 4 years? And everything that we can do to attract more students here and give them a great education, plug them into the city of Montgomery, helps us when they graduate with a teacher education degree, go to work for MPS, or one of our growing criminal justice majors, go to work for Chief Gray Boys, or any of our allied health students graduate and get internships with Jackson Hospital and Baptist Health, keeps them employed in the River region. But all of those outcomes don't happen unless we get students to Montgomery and to Huntington and ASU and to Faulkner and AUM first. This is huge for our ability to create a more welcoming, inviting doormat, a front door for our institution. I'm grateful for the pedestrian safety. I'm grateful for the reducing of the speed of traffic, but the enhancement to the beauty of our neighborhood is huge for our college. And I'm grateful for your leadership and grateful for the mayor and his team for their work on this. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Szymanski.
You know, this is, as I said, the third of the 3 projects that we have dubbed and Lois's team has dubbed as the Midtown Revitalization Project. And what I'm really excited about with this one especially is, just as President Lee just pointed out, that we are creating neighborhoods and creating spaces that are going to be used by one of our biggest future assets, and that asset is graduated college students. And one of the things I think is really important about this is that back in May when we heard the first project, we were talking about connecting Alabama State. We talked about how unique it was to have 2 higher education locations within 1 mile of each other, where their students are living in apartments and houses all over the area, where we see rapid expansion and growth by both colleges, investing into buildings, investing into our businesses. Interestingly, you know, the commercial strip that's right there, staffed by a majority of college students that live in the area. And so making sure that they can get where they want to go is super important. Making sure that we're building neighborhoods that people want to live in is really important. And now we've really connected the dots with this one, because not only are people going to be able to get safely, because it scares the heck out of me. We've talked about this before at Fairview Avenue, at that 5 Points intersection, seeing people crossing both ways. And then we have Normandale. We just heard last month about Normandale and the work that we want to do at Floyd School. So really revitalizing this entire area and getting this project done is going to give us a roadmap for creating future homeowners and residents of this part of our city, which I'm really excited about. And I really appreciate our predecessors and some of you that are here on the council now that made sure to carve out the ARPA dollars that I was able to use to be able to invest in this. Mayor, we appreciate this. And I think you getting to see the Community and Economic Development team at their best, engaging with the community. And I'll say it again because it was said last time, I love that line of, you know, this is another plan that is community driven, not consultant driven. Hundreds of hours were poured into Midtown to make sure that we could get these projects done. And so with that, Mr. President, I'd like for us to formally adopt the plan.
Well, Mr. President, I got a couple questions.
Ms. Riley.
Like I always say, District 1 through 9. One of my questions is, I want to know the cost of this development or this master plan was.
Oh, the total was,
I'm
oh, sorry. Go ahead,
This is, I believe $65,000 is the contract cost. Again.
For the master plan?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much of the cost will the city be responsible for?
For the construction?
For the total thing?
We needed first we needed the plan, and then there's a recommended construction budget. I believe it's $2.5 million is the construction budget. What we do is we take the comprehensive plan, gives us a guide for town centers and pedestrian safety. This plan then takes the next step and put some concepts to it. The next step would be to get preliminary engineering reports that would refine those costs, and then we would apply for grants and look for funding. So this is the first step that's really key to make certain that we have the right design, and then the engineers would refine it and put it out to bid. So this is just the first step.
So what's the timeline? You don't have a good timeline for the implementation of this plan? Do you have a timeline?
The timeline depends on the next budget cycle. We have put in an aggressive report. I know you guys had the public hearings for the commercial corridors throughout the city. We put in a request for pre-development funds. And so we believe that there are commercial corridors, and the ability to create safe routes to stores is something that the mayor's talked about, and this would be one of those items. So how fast it goes depends on the pre-development money.
And one last question, and I'll be finished. Are you all working on any other master plan with any other district from 1 through 9?
I believe that this is the specific funding that we got was from the ARPA funding. You know, everybody got their own funding. Some people used it in different ways. This was used for master plans. So we didn't have a groundbreaking or anything. We have council presentations. I do look forward to doing master plans in other commercial districts. I believe that there are a lot of commercial districts that could do walkability studies. I'd love to work on that in other districts, yes.
Any other questions?
Well, I just wanted to put some questions out there so that citizens and that we as a council will know what we're spending and what money is being used and why we're asking for certain monies for other things that need to be done in all our communities. Because we got 1 through 9 communities, what I always say.
Well, I mean, and that was why with this one, the $275,000 actually represents the entire investment into this Midtown revitalization plan. The largest carve-out was obviously for the Floyd campus. That was the most robust. And then we also had this one and the plan at Mulberry, Carter Hill, and College Street. And so, as Lois said, you know, we were all given $275,000. We all had different ambitions and projects to attend to the needs of our neighborhoods, and this is the one that we thought it was best could be spent in District 7, was really to set the district up for a lot of future opportunity.
All right, and now a motion.
Motion to approve.
Need a motion to suspend the rules.
No, sir, just a
Where
motion.
we at? Okay,
Just
yes.
motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Plan is approved.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Item 17, resolution expressing an official intent to incur not to exceed $375 million tax-exempt GO warrant, Series 2026B.
All right. Frank, Mr. Robinson.
Yep. Thank you so much, Councilor. And thank you so much, City Council. So just to reiterate a little bit what the mayor said, we're excited about this particular project and kind of what it means for the future of all of Montgomery and what it means for the future of jobs, the future of our city, making sure that we're competitive and making sure that we are continuing to be the best. And as a capital city, we want the best for our city. I wanted to, before we took questions and before you, any questions, I wanted to have an opportunity to address the resolution. I have Elena Fountain here from our bond counsel to address the question about the resolution specifically. But I wanted to say that the vote that we're asking for the resolution tonight is not a vote for the approval of a bond. We're going to be, in the next 2 weeks, taking community comments, making sure that we talk with you. This is a legal procedure so we can to do the next steps. So I'm going to ask our bond counsel to explain that portion before we take your questions.
Good evening, Alina Fountain with Maynard Nixon. This is just a procedural step that the IRS requires if you are going to issue tax-exempt bonds and want to be able to reimburse the city for funds that it expends between now and the date that bonds would be issued. In order to be able to be reimbursed for that, this official intent has to be adopted. So it starts the clock for when you can start to incur expenses and still pay for those out of the proceeds of bonds once they're issued. And the clock actually starts 60 days prior to the day that this sort of resolution is passed.
Any questions for Ms.
Yeah. Where are you based at?
I am based in Birmingham. Maynard Nixon has offices throughout the state, including in Montgomery, Mobile, Huntsville, and throughout the nation.
Okay.
Now, explain to me, please, ma'am, if we carry this over for 2 weeks, because let me tell you this, Mayor, that's a lot of money that
Well,
we're looking at. Go ahead, Charlie.
well, another question. $25 million of this bond issue would go to expenses?
That is not detailed in this resolution. This resolution just says you cannot issue more than $375 million in bonds and then expect to be reimbursed for any of that for expenses that you incur 60 days prior to the date the resolution is
But
passed.
even the projection of 25 million, that's 7 or 8%. I mean, it's normally 2 or 3% on a bond issue.
That number is not an exact number. It's an estimate and a calculation that we work with our financial advisors to develop. It gives us cushion, and it also includes funding for capitalized interest.
All right. That's it, Mr. Jenwright? Ms. Pruitt?
I'm still in a state of unreadiness.
And Mayor, I'm not against investing in our city. I believe that there are aspects of this bond proposal that have merit. But to the point that we have not seen the list for everything, including in this proposal, we're fighting to save the hospital. The sanitation folks need trucks. Lot needs improvement. MPD needs a headquarters. I just want to make sure that we're going to get this right. And I don't know if I still don't understand what 2 weeks on voting on the intent of this does to the city of Montgomery.
Let me ask,
What am I missing?
Go ahead.
The projected close date for the bonds is August 31st. We have some.
But what does 2 weeks delay in it? If we projected it for September 13th or whatever, what does that do to us?
We have some very specific deadlines that our financial advisory team can help us address.
So as a standard process in issuing the bonds, we have a few dates scheduled already, including meeting with the rating agencies, and we have that set for approximately 2 weeks from now.
But why have we scheduled dates?
Hold on, Ms. Pruitt, let her finish. I'm gonna let you answer. You asked the question, so let her answer. Go ahead, finish. Get the dates again, please.
So all this does is keep us on our current financing track in order to, get our ratings back and potentially price the bonds later on that month.
But I guess why have we scheduled dates if we have not voted on it yet? And again, I think some of these things in this proposal are really good things, but why have we scheduled dates when this council hasn't voted on anything yet?
I think, Mr. Pruitt, the reason why we scheduled dates because we've been talking about it for 3 years. We said in the last 3 State of the City addresses, we've had multiple opportunities for city council open houses. We sent out, you guys sent us a laundry list of needs and wants back from your districts well over 6 months ago. So at some point, I was on Betty to get this out at the end of last year. Betty pushed this since then, so we've been talking about this for about 18 months.
But we didn't know you were dropping it though, Mayor, until we got the agenda. But
we did the executive, I think I can say this, well, too late now. We did the executive committee meeting with Frank, with our Director of Economic Development, just kind of going through that this would be coming. So what we have to do based on going to the market is you have to kind of work in reverse. And so we didn't hear, any objections to the investments. We understood that, you guys have, neighborhood lists and project lists. We didn't hear anything negative coming back on the convention center expansion, which is probably the biggest ticket item, along with the city lots, are included in that piece, along with the sports facilities. So when we put that out there, we had the executive session, I think I said executive committee, the executive session, we felt like everybody was in line in general with us being able to move forward while we work out the specifics of, what those neighborhood priorities are and what the neighborhood projects would be.
And Mayor, I'm in line with some of them, not all of them, but we do have to invest in our city. We do. I know that. I'm not stupid, but, you know, to pick up, and we have not talked about this as a council as a whole, we're already 25 million or so on bond payments. And if we do this, we pick up another 25 million or so, that's a lot of money.
I don't know that we pick up another 25 million. I'll ask our folks to kind of give us the raw numbers.
Depending on market conditions, and I do want to add that nothing here does, you know, commit the city to issuing these bonds. We do have the full warrant ordinance that will be coming at the next meeting that will, you know, reaffirm the not to exceed parameters before we go to pricing. So you're not locked into anything at this point. This, as bond counsel stated earlier, just sets a legal intent if we do want to reimburse any funds that are spent between now and when the bonds are issued.
This kind of gets the clock going for us. And so again, you know, the way I look at this, we've been trying to find the optimum time based on the stock market and what the rates are. And this is what our financial advisor, who's been with this city, you know, for about 5 years now, along with our CFO, recommended that we do, which is why we had the executive session to kind of, you know, give an overview and kind of hear the high level projects. And this is why we have those opportunities for us to meet and talk and do all those things. But once we kind of set the date as a city, we got the bond raters coming here the end of this month. It'd be a bad look for us, just to be, you know, candid with you, for us not to at least move forward with this initial step. Now, the vote for the specifics comes back, but, you know, we want to get things moving because we've pushed this and pushed this and pushed this, trying to wait for the optimum time for the rates to be great. And every time, you know, we think they're going to be great, something happens that's well beyond any of our control because it's happening at a, you know, national or international level. But this is what we believe are the best rates for us. And, you know, to some degree, again, you've got to move on something we've been talking about since 2023.
I agree, Mayor. I mean, I agree, but I just don't agree with all of it.
But we don't have to, again, that part can still be debated and discussed. So, you know, even the number that it says up to, nobody says we got to go over 200 million. Well, you know, that's up to us to make that decision. So there's some things that, you know, we disagree with. We still have time to discuss all that. We just have to give the bond raters by the end of the month, you know, some general categories we plan to invest in.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, I got a couple of quick questions.
Hold on, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Mayor, I understand it's a ton of money. We borrow 375. We'll be real close to our legal limit. We will probably borrow more money than this city's ever seen, and it's a scary thing. And I agree with Mr. Pruitt and everybody else. We kind of talked about it with Jackson Hospital. We want to help them, but we don't want to rush into anything real quick.
I don't call 3 years rushing. I call that being slow and procrastinating.
No, I understand, Mr. Mayor, but these are very vague details. How many seats we building in the arena?
Anywhere from 6,000 to 8,000.
So the last meeting we were going to increase it to 12 and a half.
You never heard me say 12 and a half. You've never heard me say that.
We talked about it
In that closed session, we talked about moving
You
it
had
to 12
never
and a half.
heard the mayor say 12 and a half because I would never thought over 10 because 10 is too many. So I've never said 12 because we've had that advice from everybody that we've talked to that manages arenas, from those that manage Legacy Arena in Birmingham to those that manage Regions Arena down in Mobile. So we would never do 12.
All right, Mr. Samansky.
Yeah, to the point about our debt margin, I mean, obviously, we're going to be getting pretty close to that number with 375. I know that down in Mobile, when they're doing the convention center, I think they had already moved some kind of additional tax into their TID districts or with their hotels. And so is there an opportunity as we move forward in this process to find other ways to finance certain aspects of what we're trying to get? Because, you know, we're at what, $410 million is our debt limit capacity right now. We're talking about 375. I mean, I wonder if that, as we go forward with this, if we're not trying to figure out, especially for something like a convention center, that we're looking at other financing options or ways to generate, you know, revenue to help pay for all of this, so there's a little less risk on the citizens of Montgomery.
Let me say this without being too presumptuous. The mayor and the CFO had this city in the best financial position it's been in 30 years. The mayor and the CFO, we don't know anything else, we know numbers. So I feel very confident that not only can we borrow what we can borrow it, but we can pay it back. And we can pay it back without putting that burden on the taxpayers of Montgomery. We have had, as someone born and raised here like some of you, we have talked a lot about the big things. We have done very little big things because we operate with a small town mentality. And we operate with very, very small, scary steps, scared that the sky's gonna fall, which is why we have fallen behind cities that did not exist even 100 years ago when we were a 200-plus-year-old city. So my point is, you have to do your due diligence, which has been done for 3 years, and you have to make sure that once you're ready to go, you're ready to go. So not only have we done the due diligence of how we can pay it back with what we have existing, Counselor, but I would say that we also have some other opportunities for revenue growth that would not only pay this money back, but would allow future administrations and future councils to continue to invest in this city. And that's ultimately, from your initial conversation some months ago to where we are right now, I think what we all want to see. So that the numbers that we have managed to put this city where it is, to be able to talk about a number this size, which in the past the city couldn't even think about, are the same numbers and the same people behind the analysis that shows not only can we pay it back, but we can also bring additional revenue so that the city continues to grow and continues to prosper long after all of us are gone from our current positions.
If I may speak to the debt limit question, just to let you all know, we have discussed that, particularly with Ms. Betty, and as bond counsel, we are comfortable that a large portion of this project could qualify as economic development, and therefore could go on the city's section 9401 debt limit, which is 50%, not the 20%. So that would alleviate some of the concerns of taking up a lot of your regular debt limit under section 225.
Can you explain what 9401 means?
Sure. Section 9401 used to be Amendment 772 of the Constitution. Under the recompiled Constitution, it's section 9401. And that's for economic development purposes. You have a 50% of your assessed value limit under that section. It does not go towards your section 225 debt limit, that's 20%.
And just as a follow-up then, I guess the question, obviously if we're going to do this letter of intent to move this process forward, to examine where we want to end up and to have that be factored in, as you said, Mayor, it doesn't have to be, it's up and to. How much cost can we reasonably expect to incur in this first step? I mean, I think that was one of the things that Councilor Jenright was pointing out, was just trying to wrap our heads around total fees and costs and understanding, what each step of this really gets us to, because, that's the first time I've heard about the 94.1, which is good to know. But I think, when we left the executive session that we had, I'd asked our council president, are we going to continue meeting on this? And I thought there was going to be more of these kind of details. But if that comes in the next phase of this, then that's something for us to know. And I think we just have to consider how much this phase potentially will cost.
Mr. President. It's me.
Oh.
It's me.
Yes,
I always
go ahead,
stand
Ms.
up
Head.
because I can't see you, and I know you can't see me. I had a long conversation with our CFO today about this. This is how you need to look at this step in the process. If it is entertained by this council that any bond needs to be issued, the CFO, along with consultants, have determined that this is the best time for the city to get the market rate that we need to get. And I'm not a financial person. And that this is a condition precedent to any of the proceedings required by the IRS, and this is a deadline. It's kind of like the claim requirement. It's got to be filed within 6 months of something that happens in the city. This letter of intent is an IRS requirement that has to happen now for any of the future activities to go under the current plan for any amount. So I just wanted to make sure y'all understood that.
Thank you, Ms.
Ms. Betty asked me to make sure y'all understood.
Thank you, Ms. Head.
Mr. President.
Ms. Beard.
Yes, Mayor Reed, you and I talked about this several months ago about what we were talking about here. And I'm kind of in line with Mr. Pruitt down there. I don't warrant that at some future time that a convention center would be a great asset to Montgomery. But the other things that we've plugged in here, I just would like to see an itemized kind of statement or list, a laundry list, if you will, what we're plugging in and what we're planning to execute there, because there are a lot of things, back to basic type stuff, that we need to get ready before and get our town ready before we venture to this other part. And you and I have discussed that.
Yeah, but let me give you an example.
Okay.
So if you take the convention center expansion, if that's giving you a $75 million to $100 million ROI on a $200 million investment, addition to what we currently have, then those are dollars that are coming back throughout this community. Those are dollars coming back through, some type of tax, lodging tax, your sales tax, things that this city benefits so that you can do more paving, so you can do more parks, so you can do more community centers, so you can do more of the things that need to be done. Some of it is deferred maintenance for existing buildings, some of it is new projects. So I think, from this perspective, those are things that if you have the benefit that we've had of seeing increased tourism in our city, bringing additional dollars. This budget wasn't close to the size when I came in 2019. I don't think it was this size, prior to that. So the budgets continue to grow, in part because of that, and also in part because of greater economic development and the large companies that have come because of that. These are things that you have to do. I want to be clear there. These aren't really options if you want to grow. If you want to grow your population, if you want to grow your tax base. These are some of the things, which is why Birmingham has done theirs, which is why Mobile is currently doing theirs, and which is why Huntsville is in the process of doing theirs. So, and ours is at the lower end of space and existence versus what these other cities have done. When you look at areas around neighborhood projects, those are in part based off what you all presented to us. When you look at some of the other categories, it's based off your list, but it's also based off lists that we've had for the last several years. When it comes to the amphitheater, that's been probably talked about since before I came on, but I know it's been talked about since 2019. That was one of the first things we were asked about when we came in under the previous council. So all of these are things that present a city that is, one, growing, but also has the ability to bring in additional revenue dollars, which we need. When you can't get that occupational tax to pay for that hospital, then it comes out of where we brought it out of, which is a line of credit, basically. You get that line of credit because you got great credit, because you got great financial stewardship. There were times, and I think Councilor Jim Wright will acknowledge this, that this city couldn't have gotten $22.5 million or $25 million line of credit. So we're able to do that because we're in this financial position, because we're in a position of having the best credit rating this city has had in many, many years, if not ever. So, the number is big by Montgomery standards. It's not really big by, other city standards in our state. And I think we have to, we want big things, but we operate in a small way. And you can't get the neighborhood investments. You cannot get the type of things that the community, the universities, the colleges are looking for, our large employers are looking for by being Mayberry. You can't do that when you bring in Meta to town and you bring in Amazon to town. You have to partner with them in ways that show you are ready for the big leagues. And again, I'm going to say this is late on my timeline. But that's okay. That's part of going through the process, and things don't always happen. But what I will say to the pro tem is this. The bond raters are coming July 24th. All right?
July when, Mayor?
July 24th. So we don't really get to tell Standard & Poor's and Fitch, that the mayor was out of town or, that sort of thing. When they come to evaluate the city and see what we're trying to do to give an updated bond rating, we have to work off that schedule if we're going to go to the bond market at a decent time. And that's what our CFO and our financial advising team has recommended to us. Maynard Nexus was part of our $50 million bond, Charlie, we did that built that community center. Glenn, that renovated those community centers that we did, that we've been cutting ribbons on, from Regency Park over to Calmar Drive. So this is pretty much the same team that guided us on the first bond we did a few years ago. And they're guiding us on what we've been told we need from our chamber, what we've been told we need from downtown businesses, what we've been told we need from our hospitality community, more importantly, what we've been told we need by economic development professionals to stay in line with our peer cities in the state. This has nothing to do with any other city that's not on I-65 in the state of Alabama. But if you want to compete, if you want to keep the doctors in those hospitals, they want concerts, Councilor Grimes. They want soccer games, Councilor Beard. Councilor Massey, they want to have some things to do when they get off the date that people right now drive to Birmingham to do, that people right now can do at Orion Amphitheater in Huntsville. So when we're trying to compete for those engineers and those teachers and those accountants, they're asking, what have you done for me lately? And they're asking for those things that are quality of life issues that we just right now don't have the capability to compete with. And they like parks, and they like trails, and they like all the things that we have here in the city, but there's some things that we have to improve on. And when there's been 20 years since the last major initiative this city has taken on, which is when the RSA and the city expanded the Civic Center to the Convention Center and built the Renaissance Hotel, then it's time for us to really get back on our game and to believe, and again, understand that these things not only pay for what we have here, but again, will pay for future investments that future administrations will need to make sure that this city continues to grow and this city continues to progress and that the region benefits from it as well.
Mayor, the only thing is, and you know, I think from my perspective, it's the convention center that's the sticking point. You know, in right, wrong, or indifferent, we were sold a bill of goods on the Whitewater. You know, it was going to print money for us and be great, and 9 million people drive by it a day, and it failed, or it is failing today. And, you know, Charlie, another one we talked about, we rushed into was that recycling facility. And I just want to make sure, Mayor, and again, I understand who's coming on the 24th. I just think 2 weeks where we could sit down and talk to you and make sure that we're all comfortable or not comfortable, I don't think that's the end of the world, I don't think.
Well, I would encourage you for something that we've discussed again for 3 years, that we've gotten multiple updates on from our Economic Development Director, from our Chamber of Commerce leadership that's here tonight, that we move forward with the intent. We can hash out the details. I have no problem. We can talk about that tonight after the council meeting's over. We can talk about it in the morning and any other time. So I don't have an issue with working out the intent. I just don't think that we need to stop the process. I think for us, that puts us behind the 8 ball for something that's significant. Let me go back to something you mentioned about Whitewater. You know, I understand. I talked to the previous mayors about, you know, Biscuit Stadium. I talked to Charlie about Biscuit Stadium. I don't think that a whole lot of folks are ready to do that, but we'd say that's been a success, right? There was talk to Dr. Bronner about the issues around going from the Civic Center, which most of us remember growing up, to the Convention Center. And there was angst on the council, and there was angst, you know, in the community then. I think those things, you know, have been, you know, pretty successful and pretty transformational for this city. A lot of things that, you know, we now have came off of what, again, those administrations and those councils did, you know, 20 years ago. We got to do the same. And we got to make sure that, you know, 20 years from now, the mayor and the council are talking about exactly what we've done to grow this city and to grow this region, because, you know, Montgomery's the heart of Central Alabama. Always has been, always will be. And so even the surrounding areas depend on Montgomery for a lot of things. That regional growth for us is significant. And so as we think about being able to seat a 10,000 or attract a 10,000 member conference or convention, double what we can do right now, it's significant. And when you think about that $75 to $100 million, that's not just the back of the envelope Stephen Reed number. That's what the best of the best economic development professors we've had to come in and give us conservative numbers. And I feel pretty good with that based on what we have been doing recently. So I don't want us to belabor the point of the details. We can continue the details. I think as our bond attorney mentioned, what this allows us to do is to start the clock and to start the process. If the council comes back and says, hey, that's too much for us to bite off, then that's what the council says. But I think that for us, not to move forward puts us back 2 weeks behind, which could set us back even more in terms of when we go to the bond market, because it can have a domino effect based on.
It could work in our favor, though. Rates could be better. I mean, it's a guessing game.
We've been saying that since 23. That's my only thing.
All I'm asking for is 2 weeks, Mayor, but, I mean, we'll vote. Go ahead.
Let me let Frank talk. I'll be quiet.
Now, I wanted to continue to address the proposed, prognosis of the convention center and kind of combine that with Whitewater. Whitewater has some challenges, but as far as a kind of an economic stimulus, I would never say it failed. I know that it has challenges about kind of where money's coming from and how it gets paid, but most likely you wouldn't have Facebook, Meta here. Most likely you wouldn't have some of the expansion you didn't have if you didn't have Whitewater. So it served as an economic stimulus. What has happened in the city often is that we now have a team thinking about the next 3 steps. So when we're talking about the convention center, that's one thing that we're doing, but we're also talking about how that sits in downtown expansion and other things. We have those studies, we have those other things, but we're also thinking about what else will make it successful. So we've been talking to the airport, we've been doing all the things to make this a successful run. So we've done the work, the hard work over the last year of ensuring that when we present this, particularly when we talk about the convention center, that we're presenting something that is going to work, that is going to be successful, and as the numbers and all the data and all the things that we have, that's going to expand what we have, but we won't stop there. We'll continue to think about the other things, the trails that go along with it, the working with our destination organizations. All those things matter, and so I think that's a little different than how Whitewater was set up, but all of it is going to work together, and you're going to see the transformation when we talk about the Maxwell Gateway and all those things that are happening. We're doing a lot of planning to make sure that it all works, to make sure this city continues to be competitive for now and for the future regions to come. If we don't do this now, we fall out of competitiveness. We already are, as the mayor mentioned, all the major cities. We want to make sure that people are choosing Montgomery. They're choosing, our residents continue to choose to stay here if they want to and to do things residential wise, but also that new businesses and other places, we want them to choose Montgomery, and this investment helps us to do that.
So, Mr. President, it sounds like, obviously we are at a point where we're trying to figure out, I guess, because I got a lot of calls on this. People want to know where this is going to get spent, and I know we have some rounded ideas. I know, Frank, we've met before, and I appreciate that. And we're trying to figure out, how this big thing was presented to us, and what feedback that we thought we were going to have, what conversations we were going to have around this up until this point. And we haven't had that conversation as a council. We haven't had that conversation. Now, if the letter of intent is just a step along the way, that's one thing, but I think there's some concerns that we were hearing about, really, to me, it's just the size, and making sure that whether it's convention centers, athletic complexes, all these wonderful things that the city needs to make decisions about, that we are going to be in a position to be able to pay for all of this. It's a 30-year bond, right? It's 30-year.
That's correct.
Yeah. So
That's correct.
Yeah, it's a major investment, and I think having the most amount of information, detail, and knowledge is what I think we feel, or some of us feel like we were lacking coming into today. I know that there's been big talk about it, and you and I have talked about it, but we have not had a debate about the individual components of what's on the table.
Yeah, I think that, as the mayor said, the next 2 weeks, we can sit with council and talk through these details, to talk through those things. You have the information on the convention center, but all the other projects here, we can do that. The last project are your projects, so those things that you have brought to us, and we can talk about that. And that one has the flexibility of kind of what you guys see as council. But the other ones, over the next 2 weeks, we will sit with you. We will talk with you as a council. If you want to call a special session, however those things are. But the overall structure and the overall emphasis have not changed. They've been the things that we've been talking about, as the mayor says, the last 3 years, what we presented several months ago, and things that we've been talking with individuals or collectively to move the city forward. So we can't do that. So I'm saying that that can happen, and we will make sure that that will happen with you.
Mr. President, I got one,
Mr. Grimes.
then I'm gonna shut up.
Mr. President.
You know, we talked about Whitewater, and look, I'm a measure twice, cut once person. My job, and that's, you know, because this is a huge investment for the city. Mayor, I agree with you. But Whitewater had a study, and it wasn't the feasibility study, and didn't like it, and they went and found somebody to give them yes. I would like to see us get an independent study to validate the numbers we have. That's what I would like to do. That would be that measure twice, and it would make me a huge comfort level. And I'm not doubting any of the numbers, but everybody looks at things differently, and I'd love to see a validation of our numbers. With an independent study, we could get chamber, somebody to order one, and get a different number.
You're not gonna get that in 2 weeks.
No, we're not, Mayor. We're not, and I agree with Andrew. We didn't know, we hadn't had this conversation. We should have had some meetings about this before now.
Mr. President.
Mr. Mitchell.
Hey,
And
Mr.
I'm
Mayor.
gonna close this out and we're gonna move on.
Mr. Mayor.
We going back in circles, round and round.
So the public can know, were you responsible for Whitewater's? Was Whitewater's already in play when you came into this administration?
Yes. No, we were not responsible for that.
Were you responsible for the recycling?
That's not the point, Mr.
No, the
Nelson.
point is, but hey, Glenn, I didn't interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. I want the public to know that y'all keep on saying Whitewater, but nobody, I think only 2 people on this council was here when Whitewater was put in place.
Yes.
So we keep on talking about Whitewater, but the mayor had absolutely nothing to do with Whitewater, but we are mentioning how Whitewater is failing. But the mayor had nothing to do. If you was on this council when Whitewater was introduced, I think it was only 2 people up here. That's you and Chapel.
You missed the whole point.
No, I'm not missing the whole point, but we're blaming this administration.
Nobody blames him.
Everybody brought up Whitewater. Everybody brought up Whitewater.
All right, we'll move on. Let me make 4 quick points on what we're voting and what's being asked before us tonight. Is a resolution authorizing not to exceed $375 million. So the number that keeps coming out, $375 million, is not the number. That's open for discussion. When we talk about the things that were showed on the slides, hey guys, I'm talking. I didn't interrupt anybody while I was talking. I was respectful. I didn't make no comments. I want to hear myself think. So we're not voting on a bond issue. That will have to come back. The only thing we're authorizing tonight is to say, hey, we're willing to consider going to the bond market with the things that's been presented before this council, whether you was in a year ago meeting or 2 years ago meeting, or you don't know about a meeting. We know some of the things that we have discussed. That's the first line. When you have the expert that we're paying to come in and say, this is a timeline that we're looking at to try to move to make sure the city get the best rates on the bond market, and we say we want to hold it up, but we always talk about how we need to be financially conservative on things that we're trying to do in the city. And then if we was not going to move on this, when we purchased the property over here where we're talking about doing the convention center, that was the time to say, no, we don't want to even look at it. We don't even go out and purchase this property. And then when we talk about years ago, even before the mayor, I've been talking about the amphitheater. As I go through this city and we travel all over this country, you look at entertainment is done in your downtown area and around your airport. Montgomery is missing. Business was done 2001. And so as we move to grow the city, it's not to say you agree with the $375 million or what you don't. Everybody want to get what they want out of a deal that the city tries to do. But sometimes you have to sacrifice. You're going to give, take some as we move forward. So when we look at where we've been in 2001, where we're trying to go now, we're going to ask for a vote. You don't have to do whatever you want to do. All we're asking for is the intent. And if we come back in 2 weeks or 3 weeks and the bond market goes up, well, we can't do none of this. So think about the projects that you're talking about that you do like, which is the sanitation department, the maintenance department, the things that you want to do with a police headquarters. You're willing to sacrifice all that over 2 weeks and not willing to discuss. Let me finish, Mr. Pruitt. And you don't want to discuss it
We want to discuss, we want to say why we don't want to do something. But we figure out ways to do everything that we want to do. We just had a guy on Bell Road in Vaughn talking about investing in Montgomery. We turned that down because we say we don't want traffic. But if we don't have traffic in this city and don't have people coming here, then the finances of this city is going to go down. We're not going to have the things to do what we need to do when we talk about sanitation, police department. Everybody want to hire more firemen, want to give them more raises, want to do everything in our power. But we have to look at ways we generate finances. And if we got a return, whether it's $60 million, $70 million, or $15 million, it's a return on the investment that we're trying to make in this city. So in order to do the things that service our citizens every day, we got to be willing to take risks and chances. We was elected, 9 of us was elected to make tough decisions. And it's not one that we're going to always agree on. But when you look at $375 million, we just talk about a plan to do something in West Fairview. We're talking about something at Floyd Middle School. So those are all investments on where we need to go as a city. Those are good ideas. But when you fly into this city and you go all around, when you travel, you see things that's going on. You have young people and people in this city of Montgomery that wants to be entertained. And entertained downtown, entertained around the airport. The airport just expanded their routes with United coming in and bringing a route to go to Houston. Now you can get concerts. People that comes to our amphitheater, you know what they say? Promoters said, there's no way you put seats in the seats.
That's right.
Because there's no seat. I talked to Mayor Reed when he first came in. I'm like, man, we got people, we can give this to the people that's doing the Tuscaloosa concerts at their amphitheater, but we don't have nowhere for people to sit. So when we talk about expansion, these are the things that we need to do to expand on. So no, 100% of the people not gonna agree on nothing that you do. So, you know, I done heard everybody, I made my statements. We have one more person to speak on that. We're gonna call for the vote, you know, vote your conscience, and that is what, get your project done. Ms. Angela, extra you up to speak on this public agenda. Thank you, Frank. I won't need anything.
Good evening, Council. Angela Exford. In looking at and listening to all the conversation, it's like we put the cart before the horse. And let me explain what I mean by that. All of you were elected for your seats by your constituents. And to not be able to go back and explain this whole process to your constituents firsthand before you initiate a vote, that's unfair to your constituents. They want to ask why. I'm going to be one that's going to ask why. When you do an intent to do something, that means you have an intent to move forward with it, regardless of any revisions down the road. Now, I had an opportunity to look at that slide up there. $200 million to the convention center. But when I look at neighborhood projects, $40 million for neighborhood projects. Our city needs so much work. We have hay growing all over our city. The streets need to be repaved. We are suffering because we are not safe in our city. That should have been factored into this as well. But $200 million for a convention center, we're not ready yet. We're not ready for it. And I ask all of you to carry this over. Go back to your districts and talk with your constituents. Give them an opportunity to voice their concerns. Many of them didn't understand this whole item number 17 because it wasn't out there for public information. Now that it is being aired in public hearing, now more information is out. But to come here to give it to the council in less than a few weeks and say it's gonna end within the 20-something of this month, that's unfair. That's unfair to the citizens. Because guess what? At the end of the day, who's gonna pay for it? The taxpayers. We're gonna have to foot this bill. It's gonna be decades paying off this bill if we don't get it right. So we really need all of you to go back and discuss this whole item. We need to revamp the numbers, and we need to pull our city. We have an entire city. I know we can't put all of our baskets in downtown, but we miss our golden goose, and let me explain it to you. Southern Boulevard, there was a study. It's 40,000 cars travel on that boulevard every day. If every car spend $1, do you know that is $14.6 billion a year in tax that we can get from those cars traveling? And when you have travelers traveling for spring break, that's an additional $20,000. We need to look outside of only downtown because we're missing all our money. $14.6 billion. And each car just only have to
All right,
spend
Ms.
$1.
Angela, I need you to close it out. That's your 3
Well,
minutes.
I'm asking all of you to carry this over.
Let me clear two or three myths that you said. That's not true. Let me
Mr.
finish.
Calhoun,
Your time is up.
We don't have the conversation. I'm gonna give you the floor.
Ms.
I'm gonna give you the floor.
Your time is up.
But I ask all of you to vote to carry this over
Thank
and
you.
go back to your
Let
constituents.
me clear some things up. A convention center is a community project. A convention center is a community project. And when we look at where the city, you know, people come and speak to this council and get emotional and talk about things they just, you know, because I guess it didn't show it on TV. But the thing about this thing is, these are the things that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. To talk about what's not going on in Montgomery, it's no bond issue, it's MPD is in this bond issue. It's things that's doing in the community is in this bond issue that we're talking about. But to come to say the things about what goes on in this city that a bond issue can stop and cannot stop, see, we do more harm to our city than anybody that comes in the city. It's the people that live here that comes in and voice all these false narratives that goes out over the public that they let people hear and think that's what's going on. That's not true. One person signed up on this agenda, public communication, you. Okay, so it's out there. So to say people don't know, it's out there. She publicized this every Friday. So no, don't come and say people don't know or don't know where to get it. This place was packed. People know what they want to know and do and hear what they want to do. So I just can't just let you come and just say, I want you to voice your opinion as a city, and you're in my district, but that's fair. But don't be unfair about the statements that you make. Thank you. All right, now, we're done. That's the public communication, I guess, on that. Man, y'all been on this thing an hour and 20 minutes. But discussion was well taken, well discussed, and that's what needs to happen. You need to have open dialogue before we make tough decisions like that. So we need a motion to pass
suspend the rules
on the motion to proceed with the intent to incur not to exceed $370 million on the tax general obligation warrant. So we need a motion.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
6.
All right. Rules are not suspended, so we won't vote on it tonight, and we'll see what happens after this. So, I don't need to discuss it. We'll discuss it in 2 weeks. I don't think we need to discuss it in 2 weeks. It's going to be the same thing comes up in 3 weeks.
Item 18, resolution adopting the East Alabama Regional Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan 2025 through 2030.
All right. The resolution, I need a motion to suspend the rules. I thought 18 was, this is the one we're on?
18 is the one we're on, yes,
Okay,
sir.
all right. So we're on 19. Yeah, we're on 19.
Mr. Pruitt, did you vote for the last one, or did you vote not to suspend the rules?
I didn't, no, ma'am, I did.
Okay, so it's going to be 5 and 4. I'm sorry.
Can't be 5 and 4.
5 yeses and 4 noes. So I just wanted to clarify that one.
It's only 8 of us. It's 4 and 4. It was 4 and 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Show your hands if you didn't vote to suspend the rules. Did not vote to suspend the rules. All right, so hold them up so she can get the record. I'm not trying to expose you. All right. 4-4.
4-4. 4-4.
All right.
Y'all wore me out. I can't count.
What was that again?
I said y'all wore me out. I can't
Yeah.
count. Okay, 18 has been read. It's before you.
All right, we on 18.
It's before you. I've read it. Yes, sir.
You said it was withdrawn.
I thought you told me it was withdrawn.
18 withdrawn. Oh, 19. Hazard? I thought 18 was withdrawn.
This is the EMA plan. 18 hasn't been withdrawn.
Okay, I have vote WD by it.
18's gone.
All right, we're on number 18, Council.
Yes, sir.
Resolution adopting the East Alabama Regional Multi-Jurisdiction Hazard Mitigation Plan. So, we don't need to have a public hearing. We need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion
Mr.
to
Calhoun,
adopt.
did you vote?
Yeah, I'm voting.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 19, resolution setting the polling places and hours for voting for the September 1st special election for District 3.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 20, resolution and letter of intent to file application with National Park Service African American Civil Rights Grant Program for the Benmore Hotel, $750,000.
Motion to suspend the rules.
I have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 21, resolution and letter of intent to file application with National Park Service African American Civil Rights Grant Program for Benmore Hotel.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Right, let me make a point right there.
Resolution is adopted.
Hold on, let me make a point right there. Those 3 letters of intent that passed unanimous, just like that. No discussion, no nothing. From the audience, so there 3 letters of intent. Not the same type of money, but it's about $1.7 million. Letters of intent, no question. No, I just wanted to make that point. Next item.
Just keep rolling.
Item 22, resolution and letter of intent to file application with National Park Service African American Civil Rights Grant Program for the City of St. Jude project.
Mr. President, I got some questions.
Okay, Ms. Riley.
Don't do that. The first thing I want to know, I'm asking about the time frame when this project will start, because we've been looking at this project for years. So I would love to know a time frame.
So, Councilor, just wanted to come back with some information you asked from the work session. The project totality is between 28 and 30 million. The city has put 1.3 million to purchase the property, and then 5 million approximately are designated through the home and ARPA funds. We are working, some of the delay or outside of the city's purview. Some of that delay was because of some of the transition with HUD and some other things that are happening. We are now working towards getting, revamping this. We are working towards getting the new Casatada, as Susan has said, and we expect that that will happen within the next 3 months. And then after that, we will work, we'll make sure you're informed, to have a new plan to get the housing. Part of this is the abilities of the Chodo's ability to get funding depending on when cycles are. So I would say within the next 2 years, totally 2 to 3 years, but I don't have a time frame beyond the 3 months until we have the new developer in place.
Okay, so I know we had a developer. What happened to the last developer that was supposed to come in and do this?
There are some things around some of the HUD funding that delayed this, and we, because of some of the legal things, we need to rebid this now because of the cycle. That's exactly what happened.
Okay, so the monies that developer...
The money is not with the developer.
Okay.
The money is in the city account that is held in an account that we can produce for you, and is only for the project. And so once the developer is selected and ready to go, that money with the project is not with the developer.
So we have not decided on a developer or anything at this time,
That's
correct?
correct. That's correct. There was a developer, but because of the rules, we have to redo this, and that's what Susan was saying earlier.
And, hold on, I'm writing something down, just give me 1 minute.
And I can send this to you in an email tomorrow.
Yes, I would love to see it in the email, because I've got to let my district know why we invested in a building, and it's still just sitting there. And we were supposed to have been working within the scope of doing something when we made our announcement. I mean, we stood out there, we made a very nice announcement about what we were getting ready to put in that project right there for that, a project that we had for that area.
That project is still in process to be done. The money is still there. Unfortunately, when you're doing development, as you know, and other things, especially when there's a change in administration, a federal administration, that we had no control over, and there are certain things that change with rules and other things, that was primarily delay. That's something that we can't control, but it's, trust me, you can, I will tell you, for everybody here, St. Jude's is one of the most important projects we have in the city. The 750, 150 is for additional funding for that. That will, again, will go into a city project until it's ready to be used. So this is for us to make an application to the Parks Service for this, for additional funding. All additional funding is always welcome. But St. Jude's is something that we talk about in our economic development meetings, something I've talked about with you. It's something I will go and talk about in any community center, but the mayor is always on me about St. Jude's as one of those places, and that is an important thing for us, and we will make sure that this project continues to move forward, especially now that we have things in place with new rules and all those things that were out of control.
So who's going to be managing this project? Because I really want to see this project start moving. And I just want to make sure the scope is there, the community know, because like you just said, the importance of St. Jude, that sits on the historical trail. We have said what we were going to do with it, what we was going to change, what we was going to implement, and it's just like, it's just there now. And it's amazing to just see, we boarded up a building, a historical building. And then we're sitting here and we got the church right there that's overseeing and watching it because people are breaking inside the building.
Right.
And it's just getting an eyesore in our community when we should be reinventing this historical place, what we had already promised to do to our community. So I'm just really concerned who's gonna manage this project, how we're gonna put this project back out to the community. Because when you don't see something go on in a community, people forget about it and they get upset.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with people who are upset about what we're looking at every single day.
Yeah, so as far as this portion of the process where we're getting the funding together and all those things, that would be managed by economic development. We will, in the housing department specifically, with Reggie moving that forward. And once we get to a point where there's construction, we will kind of talk about the partnership with other departments, but we will be doing this. We have been on it. As I said to you in private and I said to you in public, I will go on tour with you if you need me to talk about this, to make sure that we're doing it. But we are pushing this forward. It would not sit, but some of the sitting, we should have been more communicative, I will admit that. But some of the sitting had nothing to do with the city or the developer. It was because of HUD rules that were changing in the midst of an administration. Now that has settled, I know that it hasn't been, and now that has settled and we are able to move forward, it allows us to go forward quickly and we'll get this done.
Just like I said, master plan, 1 through 9, let's economic development, let's get out in our community.
I will say to you that, and I said to you.
Can I say one thing? I want to get out in our community, and we want to see economic development come inside of District 4 community, gather and do exactly what we do for 1 through 9.
I have said to you, I said to every council member here, we will work with any council member about that, and if you want master plans in particular areas, we can talk about that, and we can work with you with funding, but we are concerned about every aspect of the city, including District 4.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. All right, next item.
All right, you've got to vote on this one. We don't have either votes on 22.
All right, need motion.
Motion to suspend the rules?
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 23, resolution approving and authorizing mayor to make application to HUD for program year 2026 federal application for $1,727,001 in community development block grant, $888,069.77 in home program, and $155,252 in emergency solutions grant.
All right, need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 24, resolution approving and authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with AlDOT for relocation, widening, and resurfacing of Ann Street from Bruton Street to Federal Drive.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 25, application for a towing company doing business as Citywide Investigators, 3825 Lower Wetumpka Road.
Hey,
Representative.
My name's Grady Hicks. I'm here with Dalton Hooper to see about getting this passed.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Hooper? And Mr. Hicks?
no, Mr. President, I've talked with Mr. Hicks, and so I'm okay with
Need a
this.
motion?
And, motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Make a motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck.
Good luck with your business.
Good luck, Dalton.
Item 26, application
Might
of...
need a car tow.
We may all need one tonight.
26, application for restaurant retail liquor license doing business as The Flame, 7725 Everett Drive.
The Flame. Representative for the Flame.
This is Harsh Patel.
Yes, sir. Your name?
Harsh Patel.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing has been held as proper before the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 27, application for a lounge retail liquor class 1 license doing business as Soul Lounge, 115 Montgomery Street.
All right, CC.
Representative for Soul Lounge, please come forward.
My name's Jocelyn Hall.
Jocelyn Hall?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, declare the public hearing has been held as proper before the council. Ms. Hall, are you leasing this or are you purchasing this property?
Leasing. It's owned by Elder Drive. They own that whole strip.
Mr. Callahan,
Mr.
that's the Elsa J development. That's a piece of property owned by Marjam.
Is this piece of property part of the litigation?
I don't believe so, but it is adjacent to.
This is.
It's and actually, Mr. President, it's the piece of property that is next door to the proposed Montgomery Children's Museum. It's the
across the street.
What was the place? What was that place in the mall?
It's across the street. Yeah.
Oh, it's across the street.
It's the area right next to D Rose Cafe and the
Oh, so
Chester
it is.
Invest
Then it is.
in financial.
That's part of One Court Square.
So it's part of One Court Square? All right, we're gonna carry this item over. And come back, we need to talk about this one. We're gonna carry it over for 2 weeks. Yes, ma'am, we need to discuss that. If you would hold tight, right after this meeting, I'll talk to you.
Item 28, application for a lounge retail liquor class 1 license doing business as Osaka Sushi Bar, 8860 Minnie Brown Road.
All right? Your name for the record?
Name.
Speak to the mic.
Okay. My name is Xiaoning.
All right, I see, you have it on the record. This is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, I have the public hearing has been held as proper for the council. Need a motion?
Move to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Done. Go enjoy the food. She
Good
did
luck
a
with
real
your
good
business.
job. Great restaurant. Right.
Item 29, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as City Supermarket, 5544 Atlanta Highway.
Your name for the record.
Evelyn Modica.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, the public hearing has been held as proper before the council. Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business.
Item 30, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Extra Mile, 4303 South Court Street.
All right, your name for the record, sir?
Ram.
Say that again.
It's Ram.
Okay. All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward. Seeing none, the public hearing has been held as proper before the council. Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt. All in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Item 31, appeal of demolition of unsafe structure at 2316 Glendale Avenue by Ophelia Wheat and Minnie Wheat.
Representative.
The Wheats.
Oh, no, Minnie Weeks is in order, Miss Minnie Weeks. Minnie Weeks.
Ophelia Wheat.
What's that?
He said frosted wheats.
Is Ophelia Weeks in the audience? All right, we need a motion. She appealed the demolition. She's not here, so we need a motion to uphold.
To deny the
To deny the appeal, I'm sorry. Need a motion?
Motion to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please
No,
raise your hand.
you don't have to suspend the rules. Just a
Okay.
motion to
Just
deny.
Motion to deny.
Motion to deny.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item 32, resolution designating nuisance abatement agent.
Motion to suspend the rule on the rest of the agenda.
There you go.
Why we couldn't do that from 1 through 30?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
All right, need a motion, have a motion to suspend the rules on 31 and 33, 32 and 33. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. 33, resolution declaring, authorizing, and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. We have Mr. Zemansky's resolution.
What's his resolution?
Resolution appointing
Hold
Phyllis.
on, one second. I'd like to recall item 27. I'm looking at it on the map. It's not in one court square.
Mr. President, that was what I was, when I looked at it, it looked like it was across the street in the Flames building, but she may have her address wrong, because she said she was going into the space next
Come on.
to Road Cafe.
Motion to
Well, that's the old one.
motion to
Can I
reconsider.
get a motion to reconsider?
Motion to reconsider number
27.
27.
All in favor, please raise your hand. All right.
Unanimous.
Is your address correct? 115 Montgomery Street?
It's 115 Montgomery Street.
And you're on the same, and you're on the same side as the Road Cafe?
As who?
The Cafe de Road? Or the, what's the 50/50 club coming
The
down?
Venezuelan cafe?
Yeah, yeah.
That's D Rhodes, yes.
But you're right next to
I'm
it.
right beside her.
See, that's what I'm saying, is that either the address is wrong or, or Google is wrong.
That's, I mean, the address is, that is the address that's listed. We used to, about 6 years ago, it was Touch a Soul. That's the address that Health Department had, that Waterworks has, that everybody has as the address for that location. I've had a lease on it since September of 24, commenced on January of 25. Your building, the building right there
Is your building the building right there by the bank where the garage is?
That's the lighthouse. It used
Okay.
to be 50-50.
Are you the
I
olive
mean, no,
grove?
the road.
the street.
Well, no, well, but if you look up the road, it's at 121, so it's an odd number, so it must be right. But so it is one court square's building.
I think that's 127. It's either 127 or 129 is that corner lot.
Well, she's in the development, I mean.
All right.
It's that one that has the two glass display, if you're looking at it on the.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it, it's.
Okay, I see where you're
It's one court square.
Used to be spelled. Okay, all right, we consider, we got to vote on reconsider?
Yes, sir. Now we need motion to suspend the rules.
All right, need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rule, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Mr. Bryant?
Motion to adopt.
Wait, Mr. President, I just would relay the information. You might want to relay the information to her after the meeting.
I'll do that. Have a motion to adopt, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, but I still like to speak with you right afterwards. Okay, thank you. All right, Ms.
Resolution appointing Phyllis Hatcher to the Montgomery Clan City Commission.
Samantha?
Motion to suspend the rules?
Have a motion to suspend the rules, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Mr. President, I have one contingency for you for District 1, $1,000 to Midtown YMCA for tailgate cook-off.
All right, anyone else? All right, need a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt, all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
That's all you have?
That's all I have, Mr. President.
All right, and our public communication non-agenda item, Ms. Dorothy Walker, Freedom Rider, 65th anniversary.